Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's episode on the Fashion Fables podcast. I'm here today welcoming the very lovely Lele Sadoughi, creator of her very own chic accessory line. Lele, thank you so much for being here today. It's so amazing to welcome you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So let's get right into the questions. Lele, if you can begin by telling us a little bit about yourself and the inspiration behind your brand.
Absolutely. So you said starting jewelry and then all things accessories. So that's a good question. How I started was with jewelry. And now we have, I don't know, over 15, 16 different categories of all different accessories. So the question was, how did I start?
Yes, how did you
Yeah.
begin?
How did I begin? Um, Funny enough, it wasn't actually in accessories. I started after school working for a really small designer on the West Coast, and I think that anybody looking or listening to this, trying to get advice where to start. I loved starting in a small company because you really get your hands dirty in all different parts of the industry. And so I was doing designing, I was helping out with sales and PR and production and everything. And I knew I wanted to do design, but I really believed that it's good to get experience in all facets of the fashion industry. So I was able to do that for a few years. And then when I moved to New York, I did focus more on design and I worked for Rebecca Taylor doing trims and buttons and actually managed pattern makers for a little bit. So it wasn't until I got into trims that I just fell in love with just embellishments and just the things that kind of, in my opinion, make the outfit. And so years later, I started to do jewelry, had opportunity at J. Crew, and launched the jewelry there. There was no jewelry prior to me starting, and it became a huge thing. It was really exciting to work for such a heritage brand and start a whole new department and start the jewelry. It was a great learning curve too. Learned a lot. So I would say that was like my second education before I started my own line. And when I started my own line, I was also designing jewelry for Tory Burch at the same time. So I was so busy that first year starting my line, designing for Tory, and I also had just gotten married and was expecting. So when people ask me, how do you know the right time to start a business? There's never a right time. There are always things going on. I finally started, and that was about 10 years ago and still going, and started as a jewelry line. And as you mentioned too, kind of went into full blown accessories.
That is so amazing. And just something about your brand has stuck out to me. I've actually found out about it a while ago, but I also believe that, the little embellishments can truly make what stands out. Because if you just have like more of a casual outfit and then you dress it up with one of your headbands, I don't know, it just makes it like look super pretty and just different. I feel like not everyone has that very unique and embellished type of thing. And the fact that you also were able to work for well-known brands like Tory Burch and, others, I guess it just kind of shows that it's a learning effect and you don't just end up where you are right now. Like, I'm sure it took some failures, some trial and errors to, get your niche and kind of grow your own business. So it's all super inspirational. What a great story. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I'm so excited to learn more about your brand.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, what makes you so passionate about your accessories and who designed your products?
Well, I think that it's important to have the longevity is to be true to your DNA and your style and what you like. Because I don't think it's necessarily about following the trends because then you'll get lost in your identity. So it was really important for me. I have, a maximal aesthetic from through and through, always will. I love big and bold and colorful pieces. And I think you can see that from when I first started in my jewelry to the expansion of headbands and all the crazy colors and embellishments and beads and sequins to the jeweled handbags. We just did a sequin beret and, like pearl covered, you know, earbud cases. So I think that once you realize what it is that maybe that you're good at, that you like, and that people respond to, you can really expand to so many different canvases, or in my case, accessories.
Yeah, definitely. I think it takes a lot of creativity and things like that to keep coming up with more so things that people will enjoy buying. And I feel like headbands are like really big in right now. I personally love wearing them as well, but I also agree that it's really important to stay true to yourself because I feel like if you just follow with what everyone's buying or what you see on Instagram, it's like, is that really who you are, or are you just trying to kind of fit in? And I think the importance of being an individual is having your own niche. Like, who are you? What sets you apart? And I think that is definitely portrayed in what you wear, the accessories you wear. And I definitely would say that for someone to purchase any of your accessories, whether it's a beret, it's not just, you're not just getting a standard beret. It has all those beautiful diamond looking embellishments, and I feel like it truly can make you stand out and can kind of bring more of your personality through it. And so that's definitely something that I noticed as well. And it just, especially today, I feel like there's so many creators out there who are looking to kind of make their way in the creator world, whether that be with what they're wearing or just everyday lifestyle. And so it's important to kind of find like what's going to make you, you know, just stand out and be your best self and inspire others to do the same.
Hmm.
So I guess that's just a little bit of a takeaway from your whole brand and just in general about what I feel like people should more so focus on rather than just buying what seems trendy.
Yeah, and I think that, the longer that you're around, the longer that the older you get, the more you feel comfortable and you realize what you like.
Yeah.
And I think that's really about style, and it's less about trend and fashion. And the person that comes into our store, or that comes onto our website, is someone that is not a wallflower, somebody that really loves fashion, wants to feel different, wants to stand out. I always come back to this, where anybody can go into a store and buy a full look, and you can buy a dress and have an outfit, but someone else might have that same dress very easily wherever you go. But there's so many opportunities to have individual style coming into our store, because it's all about mixing a crystal headband and mixing it with a denim bag or a leather belt, or mother of pearl glasses, and it's about putting them all together, I think, which is should be a fun, because I wake up every morning, look in my closet, and that's an exciting part of the day. And you know what, I woke up, it was raining this morning, and I thought, I'm going to put on a big crystal headband. Sometimes you kind of want to do the opposite to cheer yourself up.
Yes, for sure. And I just feel like dressing up makes me feel better in general. Like it kind of makes me like ready for the day. Like you look good, you feel good kind of thing. So I think it all goes hand in hand. And I also agree because sometimes I'll find myself searching for a while to look for a dress to make sure that it kind of just is not what I'm going to expect everyone else to wear. And it definitely takes more time, you know. I feel like shopping in boutiques or online at boutiques seem to make me have like more unique options, and I feel like I can more so customize that to who I personally am. But I think it's just important to kind of like remember your style and to kind of brand that through your own interests and through your own, you know, personal identity. I think it's all super important. And I agree with, as you get older, you definitely find more of who you are, but you're also comfortable enough to not so much like care what others will say or think. Because if you're happy with what you're wearing or how you look, I think that's what's the most important. Because at the end of the day, you should dress for yourself.
Absolutely. You should dress for yourself, and anything to make you feel good, because sometimes when you look good, you feel good.
Yeah. For sure. So this leads into the next question. Is there a specific mission or goal you may have with your brand? And what might this be? And I guess maybe share a little bit about where people can purchase some of your products in store, online, just a little bit about how that all works.
Few things there to unpack. I would say the first thing is, a mission or goal. I think we touched upon it briefly about having the opportunity to feel good. I think that we don't, or I don't take enough time in the day for myself. It's running around, doing whatever you need to do for work, taking care of your kids, taking care of your family, taking care of your house, all of these things. And it's really important to treat yourself sometimes and to spend time on looking good, because I do believe that when you look good, you feel confident, you feel presentable, and it bleeds into the rest of your life. And if you are able to walk out of your house, feel a little bit better than you did the day before, and I think that can affect your confidence in the decisions you make throughout the day. So I would say our mission is really, we're a joyful, happy brand. We're about maximal colors. We're about feeling good and looking good and really celebrating fashion. As to your other question, where can you find it? We started as an online business on, lelesadoughi.com. We also have 3 stores, opening up another 3 in the next year. So you can find us coast to coast. I guess you can find us in the West Village on Bleecker Street. We are in Lido Marina in Newport, California, and we are in Highland Park Village in Dallas, with a few more stores coming, which is very exciting to give people the opportunity to have the full experience of seeing all accessories in one spot all together to try on. Because in the past, and currently we are still at Nordstrom and Neiman's and Saks and Bloomie's, online at Shop Up and Revolve. So you can find us in a lot of places. But in those places, the scarves in the cold weather, because we have jeweled beanies too, they're on one side. Our sunglasses are on another side. Our jewelry and our headbands are a little bit spread out. So very rewarding to be able to put them all together in our stores.
That is so exciting. It's so awesome. I feel like for you two personally to feel like you're like trademarked in a bunch of different locations, and people from near and far who maybe don't only want to shop online have that opportunity to go into a store if it's convenient for them. And also, I have seen you like on Revolve and Nordstrom, and it's super exciting to like be able to go in the store and be like, oh my God, that's a Lele Sadoughi headband. And I don't know, it just makes the whole brand, like you said, very cheerful and happy, because I do notice like it's a lot of like colors, pop colors, and different patterns, and there's always a new set of headbands releasing. I feel like I'm constantly seeing on Instagram just like your new releases, and that's also super exciting. And I also noticed like on Love Shack Fancy, you guys do some you have a headband collaboration, so that's very exciting too. And it kind of just makes the brand super inclusive as to like you can be young or older and still wear one of your products. And I think that's what also makes it this big community, because people honestly feel welcome to wear whatever
Yeah,
you
we're
have.
size inclusive. Absolutely. We're
Yeah.
size inclusive. So, my mom, myself, my daughter, we can all wear matching headbands, or we can pick and choose. And, how lucky to have a brand that fits everybody.
For sure. So, how do you manage now the digital platforms and try to increase engagement to raise awareness for your brand? Just any tips on how you guys do your social media?
There's constant changes, weekly, daily, for what's working and what's resonating and what's reaching everybody. I think that um, you know, we had to pivot a lot during the pandemic because people were at home and they were maybe more focused or more available online. And so we started to do a lot of live, more podcasts, obviously, like this, but just really speaking to our customer. We had little happy hours where people could just come in, celebrate the end of the day, have a little, sale on one item, just to kind of keep the engagement going. And we often do like polls and things like that. So you see, what do people want? And they DM us, can you bring this back? Can you bring this back? And they'll tell all their friends, and all of a sudden we'll be flooded with one style that everybody wants to bring back. And you know what? Bring it back. And I
Yeah.
think that people really appreciate that it is a two-way thing, that we're really listening, we're bringing stuff out, but we're also listening to what makes people happy and what they want. So that's a lot of the digital, that we're doing. as well. But I think that the addition of stores is amazing for customer acquisition. There's so many people that are exploring the neighborhood and they walk into the store and they learn about the brand and they might buy there or they might go home and buy online, the next week. And I think that it's all about the omnipresence. So it's not just about focusing on Instagram or TikTok or videos or YouTube, but the store experience as well, and then maintaining our wholesale partners.
Right, and honestly, people can come to the stores, notice it, think it's super pretty, and then end up posting a story or something that is featuring you guys too. So I feel like it can all come full circle. I definitely think that the availability of online and in store is helpful because honestly, it like helps you with customers if somebody is in store and they're not sure if they want to buy a certain item, then they can think about it and then hopefully they go online and buy it or they come back in the store. So I also think it's super interesting that it's not only heavily relied on social media because I feel like sometimes when you're just authentic to your brand and all those things, the following and the engagement just come. I think that it's also really nice to have like put like a face to the name. I do notice you on lives a lot or doing stories, and that's super helpful because honestly, it helped me see like who you were, and just it personalizes the brand and makes people want to learn more and all that stuff. So that was such good insight. Thank you so much for sharing all about that.
Yeah, and I like that you mentioned personalizing the brand because it is a lot about that. And I think people do resonate. I think they do like to see how you wear it. And so we started to do live try-ons the night before debuts. And if you look right now, you'll see me trying on a bunch of headbands if you look on stories.
That's so exciting. So, would you say that there's a best-selling item or maybe multiple items that customers love buying? And who would you say your primary audience that may be interested usually in your brand? I mean, I'm sure there's no like specific, but
I think that when you sometimes if you're window shopping and you look around and you see something fabulous in the window and you walk in because you want to learn more about that, you might come home with kind of the smaller version or like the stud earring to that big crazy piece.
yeah.
So while we have all these crazy pieces, and you mentioned what's our best selling, um, the classic black knotted headband is our best selling. I mean, that's your starter headband because you need that and then you need all your crazy fun pieces too. So I think that people look at our brand as building a collection. So you have your basic pieces. You have your silk leopard, which leopard is a neutral these days. You have your black faux leather or black velvet pieces, and then you have our pearl stud earrings. So those are good. That's a good framework. And then you build in, and then I want you to come back and get our big crystal chandelier earrings.
Mm. That's
And then you asked me a second question as well. And what was that? I was
so
focused
just what would you say that there's a specific like age range that is mostly interested? Like, is there like a demographic of
on. Yeah.
yeah.
Um, well, we talked about how we're really size inclusive, and with that is age inclusivity. And I, mentioned we do make the kids headbands, and we make, things that would fit myself or my mother, my grandmother, all generations. So it is a really inclusive brand for that. And I think that it is really not about the age, but it's about the type of person and the person that just wants something other than a basic black dress. They're the person that comes into our shop or comes online is someone who's like, I need to embellish the look that I have going on.
Right. And that's super special. And I feel like not all brands, I feel like a lot of brands are more like, oh, maybe little girls wear it or teenagers. But the fact that you can be young, a newborn, or older and still rock it is super special and also gives like people options. I think it's funny how you said the one of the most popular items is just the classic black knotted headband because I feel like if I was going to purchase something, I would go for that more like wow, like headband just because I know it's special to your brand and it's definitely stands out. Like personally, I would get the Barbie pink one just
Yes, I
because
could
that's
see that
my
going with your outfit right now. The reason is because I might have 300 headbands to choose from, right? So
Mhm.
like everyone's picking all of those special ones. Maybe somebody wants, you want the Barbie pink one. Maybe somebody wants, our new like piscina blue, like pastel one, or maybe somebody wants just full on crystal and silver. And so they're picking that. But I think all of those three people would still want the plain, the classic black one.
That's true. I mean, those are pieces you can never go wrong with. And neutrals are also really good to have with headbands because, like, I actually, now that I think about it, and with my headbands, there are a lot of neutrals because you can't always wear like a pink headband with every single outfit. But it's just fun to, I feel like, have a more unique piece. And also, I noticed like the Barbie one, for example, is super embellished, and I love all that beading and all those crystals, and it just looks very pretty, and just like elegant, and I just love it. So, how has Lele Sadoughi grown up to now, would you say? And what are some exciting collaborations, maybe partnerships, you associate yourself with?
Well, we talked about a few. We've done a lot of partnerships with print houses because we can use the exact fabric, and it is like a perfect complement to the matching apparel that of the companies we've worked with, such as you mentioned Love Shack Fancy, and we've done partnerships with Liberty of London as well, who is such a heritage brand of beautiful florals, and Lily Pulitzer, who's coming on 65 years of being in business, and just also another happy brand. And today we actually debuted some headbands that were made with Swarovski crystals.
Mm.
So, that's a nice elevated um, partnership as well. So we like to just use different brands who have great eyes for prints, wonderful materials like Swarovski, etc.
Yeah, Swarovski is absolutely beautiful. I actually did see that today and I was like, "Oh my goodness." Um, Also, it just, like you said, it definitely elevates it to know that you're wearing a beautiful headband, but on top of that with so much like, glam and personalization and, the whole to complete the look. And I'm super excited to, see what further collaborations you do. It's always exciting just to notice it, especially with the brand that is super enjoyable to follow. And I know a lot of my listeners also love your brand. So it's just super exciting. Would you say that there's any, notable people interested in your brand or support your brand that maybe makes you excited or just helps your brand? Anything like that?
Yeah, we've had some amazing people wear our brand and celebrate our brand. We've had so many, even from supermodels, to big actresses, to even like Kate Middleton in our classic black padded headband. Even today, we had what's her Goldie Hawn's daughter, who I will remember in a moment, wearing something looking absolutely gorgeous in her crystal chandelier earrings, to Mindy Kaling, Naomi Campbell, Lady Gaga, Madonna,
Oh my God.
people that I've admired forever. And it's really just rewarding and fun to see them get all dressed up and wear accessories.
Wow, I'm sure that's like so awesome when you just like are scrolling or something. You're like, oh my goodness, this is Lady Gaga like wearing my headband. Like it
Yeah.
just it's just like you said, rewarding and something you should be proud of. For you never know who else will start supporting your brand. So
Mhm.
and then finally, what are some goals you would say you have for the future? And what is just your favorite part about what you do? It seems like you're super passionate and just love creating and making beautiful embellishments on your accessories. So anything you have to share.
I think that, we're focused on being more omni-channel. So, we've been in online business, and we're expanding to more doors, and that's really exciting. And, capturing people and having them explore and learn about the brand, whether they're on foot walking the street, online surfing the web, or, being influenced by someone that they follow that has just jumped into the store and filmed something. So I think it's a combination of all of these things. and really just getting more eyes open to learn about the brand.
Awesome. Well, thank you so, so much for joining me today. Is there any way that my listeners or anyone interested in supporting your brand can stay up to date with your websites and your store locations? You touched a little bit about it, but
Absolutely. I mean, I think these days the easiest thing to do to see what the latest, because we have drops probably every few days of new product, is to follow us on Instagram, and we're at Lele_Sadoughi. So the good news is if you just put Lele, you will find us.
that's what I
And
do.
that's my childhood nickname growing up is Lele.
Oh,
And so so yeah, that's I think the best way to do it. And then you'll find our website, and we talk about where our stores are. So if you're looking to see if we're opening up near you, that's a good place to look in our brand insights at the bottom of our website.
super exciting. Thank you so much again. This was amazing. And I'm so excited to share all of this insight with my listeners because it's one thing to see a brand, on a website, but it's also another thing to get some more of that like detail about why you started your brand, what makes it special, maybe some things coming up and just all things about it. So thank you so, so much. I'm so grateful you were able to come on today.
Oh, happy to chat. Lovely to meet you.